What's up, Watchdogs? Welcome back to the circus, where common sense clocks out early and body cams develop selective amnesia. If last month's episode felt like IA, Leading Questions Edition, starring Sergeant Younts, well, today is the spinoff nobody asked for except me. Same investigator, same script, new target, Officer Rollins. We're watching the IA interview with Officer Rollins on Bodycam. You know, that exact video I requested, paid for, and was told didn't exist? Funny. It exists now when it came in the mail from the city attorney. Watch the investigator dust off the greatest hits. Wouldn't you agree? Isn't it fair to say? Couldn't it be interpreted that nudging answers like a shopping cart with one bad wheel straight toward no policy violated? Younts got the guided tour last month. Rawlins gets the deluxe package this month. Coaching, reframing, and a few, I don't recall, sprints for good measure. It's IA Mad Libs. Keep filling in the blanks until the narrative behaves. Now grab your popcorn and smack that like button so the algorithm stops aiding and abetting. Subscribe and ring the bell like you're filling out a records request at 4:59 p.m. Roll it, and let's count how many times the questions answer themselves while the facts try to get a word in.
I'll look around here more often than not how to turn it off. Okay, so you're pretty aware with the incident I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Okay, were you dispatched out there initially as just a cover?
I believe so. I can't remember if I was dispatched or if I saw that he was there by himself and then I went there after the whatever call I cleared. I can't remember.
Okay. When you arrived on scene, you walked in the lobby of the post office and Sergeant Younts basically said, "Hey, they want her to go. She's not leaving. She's going to jail."
I mean,
is that the long and short of it?
Yeah.
So other than what he was telling you, you had no idea what went on before you got there?
No.
So you're basically just following the orders of a supervisor, assisting him with arrest.
Right.
Once you get done with that, y'all take her outside, and you're basically trying to de-escalate her in the fact of, "Hey, I just got here. I have no idea what's going on. Kind of fill me in of what was happening."
Yeah.
At that time, Sergeant Younts turns off his BWC and he goes to make a phone call. Do you know who he called?
After speaking with him later, I think he called Chief Stogner.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Just because whenever I was talking with him later about, I think my camera was still on at the time. I can't remember. I was asking questions about, we've CT people from the lobby here before, and I know that sometimes whenever it comes to public property and things like that, it's always been kind of wonky, and so there's been several discussions between admin about that kind of stuff, and so I was asking him about that. And he said that he talked to Chief Stogner, who said everything was fine. So okay, you talked to Chief, okay, then we're fine.
All good. Okay, so
that leads me to believe he spoke with Chief Stogner.
Got it. And that was after all this happened.
Yes, that was after she was already in Kamisha's car.
Okay. So you link back up with him. He's on the phone. Y'all both walk into the Postmaster's office. And I'll show you just so. So before y'all walk in there, he tells you something and you seem really confused, and it confused me as well. If you want to come over here.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what was said. Turn it up some more. So right there, he just kind of points at you. You turn around and say, "What?" And when you get in, you point at your body camera and he says something. Do you have any idea what he was getting at or what he was trying to say?
I think he may have been wanting me to make sure it was on when we talked with her, because we wanted to make sure that we had an employee, or we have it on camera that there's an employee saying, yes, CT, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
So after the fact, kind of once I walked in there and there wasn't anything behind me, I think that's kind of when I realized, like, were you talking about my camera? So I think he was wanting me to either turn it on or turn it off, whatever the fact may be. If he wanted me to turn it off, I was going to leave it on, because we were talking to an employee, and so I wanted to make sure we recorded everything.
Sure.
So I think what he was wanting me to do is make sure that my camera was on.
He never made any explicit statement, turn it off,
No.
that you know of.
No.
Or anything like that.
No.
So it's kind of mine. If he knew that he had turned his off in order to make that phone call, hadn't turned it back on, and wanted to make sure you were recording,
Right.
I didn't know what was said or what you interpreted him saying.
Right.
So if that's what that is,
Yeah, after the fact, I believed he wanted me to make sure I had it on, but just like you saw, whenever he mumbled there, I didn't hear exactly what he said. That's why I was like, what? But the camera stayed on, I left it on.
solid. So y'all have a brief discussion with the Postmaster. Hey, can we CT here? Hey, can we not? And ultimately, during the course of that conversation, she makes a comment that the female was interfering with their day-to-day business. She was making it to where customers couldn't, get through the service line. And you kind of reiterated that before you left the office. Hey, just so we're clear, you said she was standing in front of the counter obstructing business, right? And she says yes. So in your mind at that point, let me ask you your opinion. Whose onus is it to prove criminal trespass? And take post office out of the equation, right? So you go to QT. QT says, hey, I want him criminally trespassed. If that goes to court, who needs to testify to the criminal trespass?
It would be us.
All right. But as far as what rule violation, whatever, the reason they were trespassed, it's the business that.
Oh, the reason they were
Yeah,
trespassed?
has to prove that, right?
Right.
So we're going off the good faith of the business that they know what they're doing, they know what their rules are, and this meets your rules. We want to trespass. Okay, well that's my job. We'll take care of business. You agree with that? That the business has an onus as far as filling in that gap,
Right.
as far as why we're getting criminally trespassed.
Right.
Okay. So you get that from her. Do you know if anybody got a statement from her?
I don't think so.
Okay.
The three of us that were there, I did not, and I don't believe anybody else did.
So you were basically just a cover for the arrest. Kamisha was searching and transporting.
Right.
Who did the report?
Kamisha did.
Do you know if a FI was ever done for her, like criminal trespass warning?
I don't know.
Okay. You didn't do one.
I did not do one.
Okay.
And I haven't gone back and looked at the report again, so I'm not sure.
Okay. Honestly, that's all I had for you. Just those little questions about the chain of events and how it happened, and recording and what was done right there. Do you have any questions for me, or anything that you think might be pertinent regarding this situation?
No, I guess the only other thing is that whenever I forget her last name was Prince, right?
Yes, sir.
When she was talking about how she had video recorded the entire thing, she was like, look at my video, and so I was looking at it, and she's talking about she wasn't disrupting business. While she's recording, you can see where she's like going toward the front of the desk, so she's getting in people's way. So it's like, it's exactly what they said, she's impeding business. And
Right, and she even put in her complaint that she offered to show her video and no officer wanted to look at it.
Okay.
I mean, it's obvious what happened. So yeah, it's just one of those check the box kind of things, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So no, other than that, I don't have anything else.
All good, man. Appreciate you coming in.
Yes, sir.
Be safe out there.
Thank you. Hold it. Gotta hold it for like 3 seconds.
And there it is, folks. The investigator, now assistant chief, needs a tech support ticket to operate his own body cam. And Officer Rollins is kindly walking him through. Have you tried turning it off? Like it's the world's saddest IT call. Then comes the thank you for a 7-minute conversation that was basically one long leading question. Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered. Sustained. Rinse. Repeat. If you enjoyed this masterclass in internal affairs turning into I agree, consider becoming a channel member or drop a donation. Links are down below. If you'd like to let Duncanville know what you thought of these IA performances, their contact info is also below, along with the link to part 1 in case you missed last month's episode. And since the city played records games with materials I got from the attorney, that looks like potential grounds to explore a sworn criminal complaint for tampering with government records. I'll be digging into that option. Before you go, smash the like button so the algorithm stops aiding and abetting. Hit subscribe and tell me in the comments how many leading questions you counted.
BZWATCHDOG.